And with it.
Right. It's the device that you use as the.
Yeah, that's amazing. Oh,
Yeah. And
Morning.
morning.
Guys,
It's okay. A little rough and down south, Crawford County, but once we got to Erie, it was pretty good. How about you?
it was kind of rough coming in.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a FedEx truck in the medium on 90 and
Yeah. Yeah.
there was other stuff.
Well, yeah, it's something. We did see a couple cars off the road on the way. In fact, the pickup truck we were following through Crawford County must have only had rear wheel drive because they did not make it up the hill that we were following them up. So our folks are all out in full port.
Yep.
no, I.
Good morning.
Morning, Bill.
Hello.
Morning, Matt. I'm probably absolutely. Did, you see that email? You're gonna have to address it, and then I'm gonna have to, have to carry it with a long message. There's a car put in the ditch on Old French. Which one?
I was in the city.
I didn't care if it's going, so I got past driving the car.
Oh, really? Well, this morning, I live in McCain, and it was raining there, and I get up on top of the hill, and it's snow.
Did you see it? Yes. I know where about it. No, he's got AI, notes. There's Martin with it. Let me see if it went. Hold on, sis. Did you get your email on your phone? Crap, I'm calling the office. I just want to see, okay?
How are you?
If anyone else got it.
I didn't get it.
You didn't get it? Which means was it true? Saying you have a meeting coming up. Here's the notes summary from the last meeting. That's what the, maybe only Nancy got it. Because is Nancy the host? Is Nancy the? Emily was the host. Hold on. Yeah, I got it.
You want me to post on the screen?
You throw your emails on? No. Huh?
You are, it's 7 March. It's his that's turned on, but it keeps me like that out for you. You're talking about the district.
And then it's like that's a summary of the meeting.
This is gonna be Dax's presentation. Okay. He'll be in replacement Mark. Oh, for the jet, okay. I can take, do you want this seat?
Yeah, I want to switch it. It's actually, we want to keep it there for behind us,
Yeah.
sort of. I don't think I need to leave this one open for the chairperson. See?
Getting those spots.
Is it the Erie County?
Did that Jason to Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's Josh's brother.
Josh is running. Okay, cool.
Yep. Morning.
Morning.
Morning. Morning, Ron.
Good, Bill. How are you doing, Jessica?
Good, how are you?
Just,
Just wonderful, huh?
yeah. What are you gonna say in a day like this? You gotta lie. You can't tell the truth.
The 2% American. One jump on the minute, so.
Yeah.
We're waiting for 10 o'clock. That's what I'm waiting, I'm like, God, get Nancy, I'm like, is no one knocking on?
I don't think I've ever been to one where it's.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah. No, good things.
The link works, someone just joined, so. That's fine. I was really about having this year, it's not that probably waiting closer to 10.
You told Nancy to participate virtually, but she's busy. Said she. I'm remembering. I'm like, oh, God.
Hey, Tim.
Good, how you doing, man? Good, man. Good, good to see you.
You too.
How are you?
Just.
Yeah?
I need you to explain.
Hey, buddy.
Oh, great. What is it?
Best I know.
On MPO fatalities, we have 35.3. How do you have a 0.3?
As of now, yes.
It's a great question.
Is it an average? Where is it?
Safety features that,
It's hard to call. We actually had 36 fatalities, but they're trying to get us to go down. So that's a new goal. I'd like to have a single lot less.
just the two. Oh, Nancy just.
I was just gonna say, start doing
You
this.
still, you gave my amusement of the day.
We had the same question when we got them, we were like, how's that work?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah.
Hey, Ron, you had that 0.3 by people like me that died and you brought me back.
Gotcha.
I am. too quiet.
See, I know it's.
Yeah, I bet, yeah.
I pick up some good eggs down. I'm just gonna turn over to Rachel first.
Okay, are we ready? Is it time?
I'm. They give
Well, we'll get a couple minutes for anybody else to log on. Oh, that's true. too.
Yeah. I told Matt that we will appreciate not having the meeting in the snow belt. But we're doing meeting up there, my problem. Like, we're gonna put this, the EPA meeting to.
I don't know that February is gonna be any better, so.
It will be.
I hope. I'm down for that, I'm just saying.
I think I just he has tried to fall similar.
Yeah, you're just waiting for that shoe to drop.
Yeah. I think, like,
Yep.
Yeah, we're all a little on edge from it.
yeah.
And I've had snow on the ground ever since this
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, practically.
And then we.
We have a, we would put out an online.
Family's doing well.
Yeah, doing great, yeah.
I still say 2 months.
Yeah, my son's a junior, he's playing basketball and
He said,
are we,
he got invited
we
to
muted
parties.
or not? Okay. Yeah, he's doing great though. Healthy. They got a snow day today. They were all thrilled about it. Yeah, in Franklin.
No, he's home on
Okay.
Saturday.
Yeah.
He's in.
I still didn't get anything, don't worry about that.
This is last semester, winter's.
Not,
you know,
not in Franklin, it really wasn't
And
bad.
he's talking about the classes he's gonna take for the semester, and he's gonna take.
I think they were thinking about, like, it kind of started on that first, like, freezing.
It is
like,
bad.
down
Crawford
like-
County,
like
driving from
32.
Oil City here
Like, what do
this
you
morning.
call it?
It was pretty
I
snowy.
think that's.
It was much more snowy than this here, down there.
Titusville.
But once you get all the way down to
We still.
almost to 80, and yeah, Franklin, it wasn't
No.
wet bad at all today.
City
Just an
city
inch
council.
maybe this morning before I left.
Baby.
She was supposed to, all those surroundings, like.
Yeah, yeah.
Time I showed her, I'm like,
All things down there, or like our place.
Or
Lots
that-
of moved to Kansas.
They had a little picture of him.
My daughter was very.
Yeah.
You know, our.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had that heavy flood.
They did, yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
Actually.
And on the way, it was changing almost.
Our
Just
TNC, the
drinks
our
come
Yeah.
out.
TNC center, like.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Idiots on 90
And
still.
he's that kind of.
85, 90.
Don't you know that kids don't want to go
People
to
drive
school?
too
You know
fast
that.
in this weather for sure. Yeah.
That's true, yeah. No, it's like.
I
Right,
put studs on you, go in.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, right, yeah.
yeah.
So.
You guys might want to mute. Just so you know.
Thanks, Jim.
We are, we are. Are we saying top secret things?
No, you're talking about snow day.
Yeah.
10:05.
Okay. Great. Okay, good morning, everybody. We'll call the, what is it, December 10th meeting, the MPO, to order. At the beginning, is there any public comment on agenda items? All right, with none, being noted, before we have a motion to approve the minutes, Jessica just wants to update us on a few things, please.
Thank you, Tim. I just wanted to know for those online and those in the room that you have before you in the packet, the minutes of the September 10th meeting. But about a half an hour of email, I think was auto-generated by a Read AI, not through the planning department or MPO secretary, but that Read AI, we know that AI is not allowed to be at these meetings by the rules with PennDOT. I expect that was auto-generated, but I want to caution everybody to not review that document because the only accurate reflection of what happened at the September 10th meeting is the minutes. We know that when AI is taking notes from participating through the teams, they're not getting the context of the meeting, the who is speaking and the what is intended. And I just know that with that coming out a half an hour before this meeting, it concerns me that folks may think that's the record of what happened in the meeting. Actually, the record of what happened in the meeting is in your packet, the minutes. So, and I don't know if we need to make a formal recommendation or a formal vote to ensure that the MPO knows you cannot bring a chat GPT and AI read to the meeting. I'm not sure if we need to formally notify everyone of that. We have done that on a case-by-case basis, but just as far as the chair, if we should make a motion to make that a formal policy of the MPO, that would be okay with me.
I think it kind of goes with, PennDOT does not accept.
Right.
AI, so
Not allowed to
Yeah.
participate in.
possibly I don't know if we can just have the motion near their policy, or do we want to come up with something maybe for the next meeting?
I think PennDOT has been on record stating that they cannot participate if Read AIs or chat, whatever they're called, bots are on the call. So I think if we just made a motion to the MPO adopts PennDOT policy that states that we are not able to have these Read AIs or chatbots in the meetings going forward. That would be acceptable to me. That would be acceptable.
All right, if everyone understands that, is there a motion for that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that the coordinating committee and technical advisory committee mirror PennDOT's policy to prohibit the participation of AI chatbots in public meetings.
One more thing I wanted to tell you. Over 100 people stopped and asked Adams where to go for their prepaid parking from erieevents.com.
Ron seconded.
From the French Street gate while Adams was around on 8th Street,
So that was a motion.
Yeah, and we did have a second by Ron Bull. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries, and maybe we can just clarify things in the next minutes.
It'll be
Yeah,
right there
exactly.
as a motion. It's please.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you, Tim. I appreciate that.
Thank you for the input, appreciate it. Now, do I have a motion to approve the minute from the September 10th meeting?
So moved.
Brian, and a second by Jill Boone. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion carries. Moving on to agenda item number 4. Tip information, is Julie on the line with us?
Hello, Tim. She wasn't able to be online today, but this is Brandon Leach. I can fill in for her.
Hello, Brandon. Thanks for jumping on.
No problem. So of the, am I good to go?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Zooming in.
Okay, sorry. I thought I heard some background there. So first I'll review the 7 administrative modifications that that were processed since the last TAC meeting. Of those, I was only going to discuss the administrative action number 5, which I think, yep, I think you have it queued up on the screen there. So this is an action to add Act 13 funds as well as local match to the preliminary engineering and construction phases for the dam site road culvert Act 13 project, MPMS number 123437. These funds were added in federal fiscal year 2026, and they're considered additional funds to the program. They're not actually TIP regional funds, but rather Act 13 and the local match. Other than that, I was also going to touch briefly on the informational items, which are a slew of actions to add projects using the protect reserve line item. So of these items, there's 11 projects that were added using protect funds, and for those that are not familiar, protect stands for the Promoting Resilient Operations for Transformative, Efficient, and Cost-Saving Transportation Program. So these are all projects that have a resiliency component to them, where the money is put in and essentially is addressing a resiliency issue to help the project or to help the location stay resilient to things like climate change factors in the future. For most of these, I think it's all of them actually. They're adding the preliminary engineering, utility, and construction phases for those 11 projects, using a combination of funds from the statewide protect reserve line item and available funds that were from the SR 430 bridge over 4 Mile Creek project, which is also at the top there. These are marked as an amendment, but that's because it's a statewide informational item. There's no vote needed today. That is an amendment for federal review processes, and no action needed by the MPO. That was all I was going to cover today for the actions, but I'm willing to take any questions for any of the other remaining actions if there are.
Are there any other questions for Brandon? If none, Brandon, you're gonna hang on for the rest of the meeting as well?
Yep. Yeah, I'll cover her section, Julia's section at the bottom as well.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Agenda item 4B. Local bridge bundle. Courtney, do you have an update for us of any sort? And I believe there's a vote that's going to be needed.
Yes.
Okay.
So, at the track meeting, we had talked about the adding a local bridge bundle to our TIP. A few years ago, we had done a local bridge bundle that we were looking at doing a set of similar type structures, and getting those out. We had to break it into 2 because the types of bridges that those were. This is the second gen of that, which is a non-composite rock beam. I believe there's 4 of them that they're going to be doing. Our staff is going to be designing them in-house for the municipalities. And we are proposing adding $150,000 for $75,000 to final design and $1.5 million for our planning estimate for construction, using the local bridge line item and some money from the regional TIP line item in order to cover that, so we can start now. We are proposing going into the agreement with the TIP funding 100% and municipalities not paying anything for those bridge projects. I believe there's an FC chart in everyone's packet for that, and we would need a vote to go ahead and get it added to the TIP and get into the process of doing agreements with the municipalities.
Is there a list somewhere of which bridges?
Yeah, we have
Falls Road
Okay.
over Falls Run, Hannah Hall over West Branch, French Creek, I think that would be.
Yep.
Zimmerly Road and Gary's Road over Walnut Creek.
Those are the next four.
Yeah.
The next four.
Good. That was in a form of a motion, or
Yes.
she allowed to make the motion? Yeah, she, or Brian will make the motion.
Sure, yeah.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Bill. Any discussion or questions of PennDOT?
That's great. Take care of some bridges.
Yeah, exactly. If not, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. And Alex, you have an update on the Bayfront Parkway, e-ballot. It was a request about a month ago or so.
Yeah.
To move some funding to, the Bayfront Parkway. So, yeah, you could give us an update, please.
And in the packets, the results was the e-ballot vote to add around $15 million to the Bayfront Parkway multimodal project. Members of the coordinating committee voted from November 13th to November 20th. 13 of the 23 voting members voted. 11 is required to reach quorum. Of the total votes cast, 13 were in favor, 0 opposed, and 0 abstained. The amendment passed, and an e-stip has already been submitted and approved by PennDOT Central.
Okay, so no motion needed, correct? Just information. Okay, all right. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate it. Moving on to agenda item number 5. Matt, you want to update us on the local use fee?
Yes, our last meeting was October 22nd. So not much has changed since the TAC meeting, but just for those who weren't there, the big item that we discussed was on the cash flow and year 2025 donation revenue. It was $135,156, which did reflect a approval of an additional $125,000 for engineering. So that bumped that up to the $260,156 you see on the chart. And by doing that, in year 2027, we actually end up with $16,949 in the hole. But at this point, not too concerned because a lot of these projects they're all moving. So each year to year, it changes, actually meeting to meeting, it changes. So I think we'll more than recoup that $16,949 by year 2027. And with this, the newest one is Page Road with $700,000 in 2027. That was added this year through the application process that we have. So we have the application process working. The subcommittee is basically now to the point where we locate the bridges that are in poor condition. We notify the applicants and then they choose whether or not to apply, and then we review and assign money as it's available. So we're pretty much good through 2028 with funding. There's not too many poor condition bridges left on the list that are unfunded, so we're in a pretty good spot. And our next meeting will be January 21st at 10 a.m. at the county planning office. So anyone who wants to attend is more welcome. We're always looking for more people on the subcommittee. And that's all. Thanks, Tim.
Great. Any questions of Matt? If not, moving on to the Matt Waldenberg show, bylaws revision adoption possibly.
Let's hope. I'll go through the presentation. As everybody knows, we've been working for a little over a year on reviewing the bylaws, and as part of that, some proposals were made to potentially change the membership of the 2 committees. I'd like to, start off by thanking the original members of the committee who are, Jessica, Leanne, Mike Baker, and Brandon Leach. And then when we kind of came to a loggerheads earlier this year, I really appreciate the people that stepped up to try and help us get past that. And that's Anna Franz, Marcus Jacobs, Ron Bowl, and Jason Sayers. And so going on to some of the easier items that we had dealt with were the text changes to the bylaws. We did put in place a term limit for officers, 5 consecutive years, and then an officer may be reelected after a 1-year break from office. We also added a 5-year minimum review to our bylaws. Currently, the bylaws have no standard review period. And of course, the committee could review bylaws and change them as necessary if they wanted to, if anything were to come up. And then presently for representative attendance, an organization currently is only notified if their representative has not appeared at a meeting for a year. Now we've changed it so that an organization is notified if their representative attends less than half of the meetings in a year. That's just to make sure that everybody that has assigned somebody to the committee is aware if those people aren't attending and can then potentially make changes to who their representatives are. Moving on to the more contentious, we did, I think the last time I presented this, we talked about all of the different methods that we came up with to try and come up with a data-driven method to populate the committee with membership. After some discussion, we felt that it was best to keep the current membership at the 23 votes that we have. In doing research, and I have to thank Brandon Leach from central office. He did a lot of research on MPOs throughout the state. And really the results of his research are everybody kind of does their own thing. There's no set process. There's no kind of common denominator as to how people decide on who the membership is. They grow organically in each of the MPOs and RPOs. And so we felt like why change ours? Because ours did exactly the same thing. It grew organically over the years to where it was. So we are proposing keeping our membership at 23, keeping the quorum at 51, and organizations are assigned representation, but we do not specify what role the person that represents that organization would be in the township authority or whoever has that seat. They send whoever they feel is the best representative of that organization. So next slide just shows the current voting membership. The coordinating committee has 23 members. As I mentioned, the technical advisory committee has 18 members. What we are proposing for the coordinating committee was to keep the 23 members. One of the driving factors in looking at the membership was that the county wanted one additional seat. And we did have a conversation with Derek Martin from the Airport Authority, and Derek was willing to give up their seat on the coordinating committee in order for the county to have a second. It's not necessarily ideal, but it's the best compromise that we have with the least amount of disruption. And so we do appreciate Derek's willingness to do that. And so this is the new proposed coordinating committee, 23 members. You see the county now has 2, they've gained 1, and the airport no longer is a voting member of the coordinating committee. I'll touch on them later on in the presentation. Next up is the technical advisory committee. We kept everyone that was currently a member in their number of votes on the technical advisory committee. We did recommend adding the Erie Area Council of Governments. That does give more representation to more people throughout the county, as well as it gives the technical advisory committee an odd number. So hopefully, in the case of any ties or things, that would help us. So that is the other change as far as committee membership. On the slide here are the non-voting members of the coordinating committee. On the left-hand side is what the bylaws currently list. You can see the Highway Administration, Transit Administration, DCED, the FAA, the PADEP, and U.S. Housing and Urban Development departments are on there. But what we realized is that we really did not have any participation from those bottom 3 current members, the FAA, PADEP, and the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. And so our proposed changes to the bylaws keeps the federal highways, federal transit, DCED, but then adds the Erie Regional Airport Authority. So they would still be full participating members of the committee. They just would not have a vote. And we've added a member emeritus as a specific non-voting member. And I'll touch on that in more detail in a second. If you don't mind moving on then to the TAC, the Technical Advisory Committee. Kind of same thing. We dropped some of the organizations that really have not participated in our meeting in years. HUD and the PADEP, FAA. We did add a couple to the list. We added the Erie Parking Authority. We added the Erie County Emergency Management Agency. And we did add the member emeritus. Some of those came about, obviously the Parking Authority is good input to have, technical matters. Erie County EMA was suggested, especially after the situations that we had last year with the snow. We felt like they were a good organization to keep in the loop and to gather their feedback. And then I don't know, Ally, if you have all of the bylaws. Oh, this is the text of everything, and it was pretty, yeah, this is the clean version. Yeah, if you just want to stop there on page 5. Yeah, all I wanted to draw your attention to on this is page 5, that section 4 at the top there. This describes the member emeritus. Previously in the bylaws, this was listed as chair emeritus. This was an opportunity for the committee to keep input from a longtime member. I believe it was originally implemented when Tom Hoffman retired and lost his seat on the committee, but it allowed him to still participate in the meetings. We kind of cleaned up the language a little bit. Originally, I believe it was just for the technical advisory committee, but we provided a provision for both the coordinating committee and the TAC to designate a member emeritus. And then you'll just see this is similar language to what's in there now, that it is a lifetime appointment until the person decides that they no longer wish to serve. But other than that, I think that's a quick review of the changes that we've made. If anybody has any questions or wants to discuss, please feel free to. Chris?
Question. Regarding DEP. How, what would be the effective way to engage with that?
With Pennsylvania DEP?
Right.
I mean, I think, and I don't want to speak for PennDOT, but a lot of these are, they go through their environmental clearances and NEPA and everything. All the projects have to go through and jump through those hoops anyway.
They have environmental reviews.
Sort of embedded.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're in close contact with them on many projects and, yep.
Thank
you. Sure.
And just for the group, at one of the meetings, they discussed having a legal review of what was drafted, and we did have a solicitor review and brought back some comments to clean up language, and we did incorporate all the legal recommendations in this version.
Any other questions or comments? Before I turn it back over to Tim, just want to let everyone know that this was recommended for approval by the Technical Advisory Committee at their last meeting. And so I guess with nothing further, we can move forward.
All right, if no questions of.
Hey, Tim, it's Jason.
Yes.
And before you continue, I just want to thank Matt Waldinger for all of his leadership and guidance through the process. I know it was a lot of work, so, and the committee as well. So thank you.
Yes, I'd echo Jason's sentiments as well. Nice job, Matt, and your team. Started off rocky, but yeah.
We got it.
Yes, we worked together and got it. Yes, but well done by everyone, so thank you.
Need a motion, right?
Yeah, I do need a motion. Motion by Bill. Do I have a second? Second by Paul Johnson.
Lots of people said that.
Yeah, absolutely. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, great. Thanks again, Matt. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Alex, do you have a couple updates on the LRTP?
Yes, so first, we'd like to thank everyone again who participated in our stakeholder and public meetings. We had 4 stakeholder meetings in September that were held here at the Summit Township Building, and we had a turnout of over 55 attendees. 2 public meetings were held in October at the Booker T. Washington Center, and we had a turnout of over 37 attendees. All information gathered and topics discussed was given to our WRA consultant to include in the 2052 LRTP draft project list. A steering committee meeting will be held on December 16th at the planning office, as well as online for teams who are unable to attend in person. At the meeting, WRA will be presenting and discussing the information gathered at both meetings, as well as the weighting system that will be used for the project prioritization. And then we will be holding another steering committee meeting towards the end of January, beginning of February, before the next tax meeting. For the steering committee meeting, we will use the weighting system to determine the 2052 project prioritization list and goals. If you're not already on the steering committee and would like to be, please see myself, Jessica, or even Jordan after the meeting.
Yeah, the committee will be briefed on how the weighting is determined based on the federal highways and the PennDOT priorities and what the MPO's priorities become for choosing projects. It's going to be a pretty heavy lift, so we appreciate everybody, spending the time on that on December 16th. And then the next meeting after that, will actually be making the determinations. But the December 16th is to understand what the federal priorities are and the PennDOT priorities are to help us determine our priorities for Erie MPO.
All right, great. No vote needed there. Moving on to the next agenda item, the safety performance measure targets. There is information in your packet after the bylaws. Alex?
So presented on the screen and in your packets are the safety performance measures that the MPO votes on every year. Erie County's new 2022 to 2026 target for fatalities is 33.8, and for serious injuries is 111.2. Unfortunately, Erie County has only met these goals in 2022 and 2023. In 2024, we saw a 20% increase in fatalities from 30 to 36, and a 31% increase in serious injuries from 90 to 118. Yes, so we also have a separate handout sheet as well that outlines basically what the actual number was for fatalities and serious injuries, and then the proposed projected, which PennDOT wants us to aim for in 2025 and 2026. And also, as well as that, a copy of the safety letter that we received from PennDOT is included in the packet as well. So basically, PennDOT just wants us to review these numbers, and then a vote is required to approve.
Did you put projects on, or did that come from Senate office?
I believe that was from Central because it was the previous TIF and not the new TIF.
Okay, because we have a new one on Wednesday, if we need to add.
Yes, we can.
Only do it, it's that intersection project on 38.
Liberty?
So that one, I can want to.
And that it's an HSIP project.
Approves and all this ordinance.
So we did want to engage the group in talking about this. When you look at your trends, obviously the trends are not great. I mean, particularly around the fatalities. Erie County had 36 traffic fatalities in 2024. The goal being the 32.8 was the target. We're obviously over target, and I know that's an average of the years, but within this 4-year target. But obviously, we're going the wrong direction. We're up to 36 fatalities from 30 the year before. 2025 number on here is an estimate, and those are targets. But Ally and I have been talking a lot in the office about trying to look at the data and see what the trends are, what the driving force is, whether it's time of year, whether it's weather, whether it's certain areas are bad. So we're trying to really actually take a active approach to looking at where the fatalities, where the accidents are. So in the next LRTP, we can potentially have some recommended studies, things like that, to kind of remediate some of this loss that we're having in Erie County. So that's our plan going forward in the next LRTP. And we have been talking, Ally's been talking to central office and WRA about looking deeper into the data so that we can potentially prevent some of this in the future.
Jessica,
Yes, Ron.
can you separate it when you're doing your research, bring out the number of motorcycles and how many had helmets and how many didn't?
We can see if that data is available, Ron. It's a good idea. And we want to get down to the why. Why is this happening? And that could be a factor. And we don't at this point know if it's winter weather, that's the major driver of the accidents and the fatalities, or if it's like you're saying, the summer weather, and maybe it's motorcyclists without proper safety gear.
I've ridden motorcycle for a lot of years, but I always wear a helmet because as an EMT, I want to take a brand new EMT out there, have somebody's brains laid all over the damn road and use them as an EMT.
Right, right. Absolutely.
So it gets people on a ride, they think it's just, everybody just told me, some people, I'm sorry, didn't mean to bring it to.
So there is a goal to reduce the number of fatalities by 2%
reduction.
2% reduction. That is recommended, and I think the intention is that this group will adopt these safety performance measures. I just want to activate the group and knowing we want to do more if we can.
Let us know. Well, as we're working on it, because we'll be looking at projects that would potentially use HSIP and HVRU funds. We also have, our press office has created, a, like, guidance for, educating pedestrians and trying to do stuff with, accents that are involving pedestrians.
Yeah.
So if there's things that we can help with messaging and stuff, let us know.
That'd be great. And I think that's a good question, Courtney, is a question of, are these pedestrian motor vehicle accidents or what kind of percentage? I know it's anything, but what is the percentage breakdown?
Exactly.
So if we can work with Courtney and Brandon and try to get more of the data that can help us. I think because we're in the LRTP process, that puts us in a good place that if we know of this particular area or someplace that's vulnerable road users or, high accidents, that we can put that into the LRTP for a study and help inform that for the next go around.
Jessica, is this total countywide, including local roads, or is this just state? Okay.
Countywide.
I heard that.
Yeah, 118 serious injuries and 36 fatalities in the last full year count back. And it's a 20% jump from 30 to 36. And what did you?
31%.
31% in fatalities from
20% of fatalities, 31% of serious injuries.
Yeah. Going the wrong direction. I get it. We gotta get to the bottom of this and see what we can do.
It's definitely concerning trends, and I guess the thing that this group should be happy about, unfortunately, these numbers are not good at all. But just as far as MPOs go, we've been very successful at using federal safety dollars for good projects. So I do think I think collectively, we've done a lot to make the system safer. But like you said, there's so many factors that we could look at, and we want to look at them with you. We've done some, similar assessments on our own, looking at times of year, motorcycle versus other pedestrian, bicycle, and things like that. But our safety engineer at the district would be happy to be involved in those. They have a lot of great reporting tools that can help us drill down into
Is
some
that
of that.
Greg or who do we talk to? Greg Mason or who?
Right now it's Amy Amon, but it's kind of on a rotating basis right now. But Courtney, if you're just talking to Courtney or Sarah, they'll get you with whoever the right person is.
Perfect. Thank you. And we recognize PennDOT's obviously addressing this with HSIP and VRU, different funds that you have, but what can we do more in the local that we can help this problem too?
That's great.
Okay, so we are looking for a motion to adopt the safety performance measure targets.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Matt, second by Ron Bull. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And now we're moving on, looking into 2026. Alex can't wait to get these meetings scheduled.
So on the screen in your packets is the draft 2026 MPO meeting schedule. These dates were determined by our office at PennDOT. They were scheduled based on tip deadlines for public comment and adoption, as well as any federal holidays. The Teams meeting and online information is on the sheet, so that will be the Teams meeting used if you need to join online, and will be posted on the county's website.
Fantastic. So I have a motion to adopt the meeting schedule for 2026.
Yes.
Motion by Bill. Second by Anna. Any discussion? Were you checking your calendar, Anna? Is that what you were doing? Okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we're set for twenty
It
twenty-six.
is all on Wednesdays, but there's a couple of day fluctuations, so make sure you mark because of, in terms of how many days you have to have in between for votes. And also we tried, because of the District One team, we tried not to overlap too much with the, Mercer, is that right? Mercer, MPO and the RPO. We tried.
Thanks.
Not perfect, but.
I will be sending out calendar invites to, this week to everyone, so that way it's on the calendar.
I was just gonna say that I think county does a great job now and then, you know, leading up to each meeting too, just notification. So that's appreciated. Thank you. Alex, you keep rolling on Act 13 update.
So, since there's no like subcommittee for the Act 13 Bridge program, we kind of want to just give an update to everyone and like kind of a year update of how many applications we received and how much funds are going out. So in 2025,
Let's explain where this money comes from. It's Marcellus Shale, so Act 13 is Marcellus Shale money that we're entitled to. We don't, your county doesn't host any of the wells, but we receive a stipend from the state from the Act 13 fees that are collected, and then the at-risk bridge program. Folks can apply, municipalities can apply for that funding. The cap is $250,000. It's not going to necessarily fully take care of a bridge, but it is a commitment from the county through this funds to address at-risk bridges.
and any approved bridges do get added to the TIP as well, as Brandon kind of went over earlier. And in 2025, we had a total of 6 applicants. Only 3 met the program criteria. The bridges that did not meet the program criteria were either not in poor condition, not 8 feet or over, or did not have the matching funds that were not liquid use funds, liquid fuel funds, sorry. And then the applicants that were approved include Donlin Road Culvert in Harbor Creek Township with a contract amount of $59,500. Dam Site Road Culvert in Northeast Township with a contract amount of $210,000. And then the new one we just have received recently, but is not yet entered into contract, but will, is West 4th Street Bridge in Waterford Borough with a contract amount of $250,000. All 3 applicants are currently in progress and expected to be completed by the end of December 2026.
Harbor Creek was a recipient of and greatly appreciated. It was a project that just came upon us like, uh-oh. And so thank you very much for working with us on that and getting towards completion. Appreciate it. Any other questions of Alex there?
I have a question. Gerard Township says Maiden Lane Bridge. I don't know about Maiden Lane Bridge in Gerard, but in Platia. Platia Bureau. I didn't know about that.
We can correct that if that's an incorrect location, but it was not approved for funding, Bill, because it was not considered in poor condition.
I don't even know of it. That's my fun part on that.
All right, they can double check the submission.
Yes.
Okay. Was there any update from EMTA today?
Yes, Danielle is online.
It's she, Danielle. Okay. All right, Danny, hello.
Hello, how's everyone doing?
Wonderful.
So Dave is out of the country and Jeremy had to hop on another meeting today, so it is just me. So this QR code right here is basically MPO survey. We would like to get all of our stakeholders' inputs for the transit development program that we are currently working on. So if you do not feel like dealing with the QR code, there are paper or the PDF of the surveys that we can send out. You can either complete them and somehow anonymously scan it over to Dave Robinson, or if you have any issues, you can feel free to give us a call, and Dave or myself can walk you through the QR code process. But yeah, your input is very important to us. We will be sending out the rider and public surveys after the holidays as well. So we're kind of doing this in little phases here, but does anyone have any questions?
I will say we did print out physical copies for, they're on the table there for anyone who did not want to.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually have a stack in front of me, unfortunately. I was going to bring with me and then we kind of dispersed with the weather and everything. So it's a little difficult. But. All right. I guess I will. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna ask if you had anything else for us.
Not a whole lot right now. Just kind of dealing with the weather here. That's keeping us on our toes like last year. But we do have 8 buses on that are coming in soon that are on order. We also have ordered 6 more big buses and plan to order paratransit buses to replace our old diesel running and rusty buses that we have right now. So we're very excited to announce that as well. And I believe we'll probably have a big announcement once they're all here. That is it.
Fantastic. Thanks, Danny. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Is Mark Nicholson on the line for District 1 updates?
No, this is Tom McClellan. I'm just making sure you can hear me.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, well, good morning, everybody. And just 2 quick things here. I know Dax has a nice presentation to go over with everybody, so I'll keep my comments here brief. But in your packets that you received, you should have an updated newsletter, and it lists all of our PennDOT projects up in Erie County and where they're at in the design process. So just want to make sure everybody saw that. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to the contacts or myself. And lastly here, I just want to share some sad news with everybody on the MPO. One of our colleagues here, one of our senior project managers, Jeanette Ohl, passed away suddenly over the Thanksgiving holiday. And she was pretty instrumental up in Erie County working on a lot of projects. Most recently, she touched the East Bayfront improvements from port access to 12th Street. She was our project manager there. Route 20 signals, and then of course some anything related to railroads all throughout the county, and also the big I-90 project coming in from Ohio. She was our project manager there. So just wanted to share that sad news with everybody. And, for now, if you have questions on projects that Jeanette was working on, Mark Nicholson is the contact. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tom. And then you said Dax is on the line as well? Oh, no, he's right here. He's right here.
I jumped right in. I don't know if it reaches, or I can come up there. It might make it go quicker. I just. Yeah, if that's okay. Thank you. All right, for those that were here last year, we did this similar presentation. What I'm going to talk about is the projects that we touched on, worked on in 2025, maybe completed. Just give everybody an update. We talked a lot about the design process. Now we're going to do the construction. So I'm Dax Knoll. I'm the Assistant District Executive for Construction in PennDOT District 1. There's probably 40, 50 slides. I promise I will go really fast. And I'll be more than happy to share this so you can take a look at it, because there's a lot of numbers on it, but we're not going to talk about all the numbers. We're going to look at some updates and some pictures. So to get started, we worked on 832. That was about 4.5 miles from Route 20 to the entrance of Presque State Park. And for this first one, I'll kind of give you an idea. Each project's going to have 3 slides. It's going to tell you when it was bid in this first one, when the contractor was allowed to start working, and when our completion date was, and an amount. Second part lists the contractor, our design estimate, how much it was bid for, our current contract amount, and the percentage we're complete, and then a little bit of information. And then the third slide will be pictures. So now that we're out of the way, we can fly through these. But So for that project, the paving and draining is complete. We have to do a little bit of work in the spring on ADA and signal work. And then we have some refacing of the retaining wall that goes downhill into the park itself. There's some pictures of the construction of that. 699, it's about 7.5 miles resurfacing from State Route 699 or 99 from McKean to Interchange Road. Joseph McCormick did that work. All that work was completed back in August of 2025. And again, we're not going to do the numbers to keep things moving. And quick picture, we mustn't have any pictures for that one. For an ITS project, this is really district wide, but there's two in Erie County, one both on I-90, one is mile marker 16, one mile marker 40. This project is not started yet. We're going to do that work in 2026. 2025. I-79 3006 from I-79 to 699, about 4 miles of paving. Just from McCormick was a contractor, again completed. We just completed that last month, November of 2025. And if you look at, like, some of these say we're complete 90%, but if you're done, we just have it balanced out our final, work order change orders. So, and some pictures there. A lot of our pictures were in the rain. It's constant rain, a lot of there, but you'll see coming. An LFAR project in the city of Erie, multiple routes. I'm not going to read them all, but you can see them on the map there, and they're also listed. Yeah, Joseph McCormick did that one. We finished that one up in October 2025, and a few more rain pictures for that one. Next one is another LFAR in Mill Creek Township, West 23rd Street, completed in September of 2025. And I don't know, we must have, again, like I said, we must have been out. It was ready to take a picture, but at least you get the gist of it. And a pedestrian improvement project, intersection of State Route 5 and Harts Gravel. Major work was complete on this in 2025. Kind of like these to de-energize a line for us so we can get advanced warning signs up. I don't think that'll happen anytime soon here, but we're keeping in touch with that. There's just a picture. We have Depot Road 531. It's about 1.5 miles long. Some concrete pavement, new concrete pavement in front of the truck stop area. Some realignment and, taking up some hills and bumps and dips. And we started that actually in 2024. The major work is done this year. Contractor returned in spring to do some line painting, RPMs. And there was a ramp gate that we put up that was damaged by a traffic accident. We got to fix that. It's on order. Some pictures of that. You can see the concrete paving that we did, which we don't do a lot of, but this was I think a good place to put it with all the truck traffic here. Jordan Road over I-90. That was done in October, and a couple pictures of that one. They're hard to see up there, they're small, but bridge project, replacing Route 20 over 20 Mile Creek. This was the, I guess the project that was, we had suddenly closed in fall of 24. Is that correct? Yeah, because we bid this in July of 24, so sometime in 2024. Worked quickly to get that project out and constructed. It's basically done. We have a couple things to clean up next year, but we did just with the weather, we need to get to it. So that is some pictures of that. Get some better, if that's okay. A local bridge project. There was 3 bridges on Old Route 99 that you can see there in the map. We finished those up this year. We did have some issues. We didn't think we were going to quite get with some utilities, but we got through it. So those were completed in November of 2025. A lot of ENS work there. Edinburgh, Tassa, about 2,000 feet of new sidewalk, State Route 6, water Ed Murrow. Can't speak to that. XL Excavating was our prime contract. I've never dealt with them before. Seem to do good work. Major construction's complete and they return in spring to do some, pedestrian rail. I-98 we bid this one a little later in the year. You might see some work that we did out there just to kind of do some patches, between mile marker 18 and 23. Or mile marker 18 and 23 is what we're doing. We patched 23 to 35. We did, like I said, we did the patching from 23 to 35, and then the major milling or paving work will happen next year, in 2026. So we just about 10% just to do some of that patching. You can see we did a lot of that. All that work was done tonight. The Bayfront started back in, all the way back in 2023. I'm not going to go into too much of the backstory to that, but I think we all, if you drive anywhere near the Bayfront, I'm sure you know what kind of some issues that we had. And we, closed the road around Labor Day of last year. The contractor's been working pretty much every day. I don't know about today, but they're working through the snow. They're getting a lot of stuff done, and we're looking to reopen that in the fall of next year. If things go completely well, maybe it'll be earlier, but I'm not going to promise anything because you never know what could happen. And then just some pictures of that, and like right in the middle is kind of an overhead view that we have that we can take some snapshots of the picture the project progressing. So there's a lot happening out there right now. This is interstate. This was the ramp gates. We're actually doing semifinal inspection of those today. That's to help with our Erie County maintenance folks. We have to close down the interstate for an accident or whatever reason. The ramp gates can go down and just close off the ramps. All work is complete. Like I said, we're reviewing that project today for final acceptance of that project. 3105 bridge. This was Beckman Road. Sometimes I get these confused, but this was just a removal of Beckman Road over I-90. And that was completed in November. Bridge is gone. 7213 LOO. This is a locally owned bridge on Evans Road, Mill Creek Township. There was another one. Sorry, I don't know how to go backwards now, but Thomas Construction, they completed that work in September of 2025. Few pictures. I think we're getting real close to the end here. 430 BSB. This was Stock Creek, just spraying on concrete and pipe culverts. Allison Park Contractors did that. We finished it up in July 2025. You can see it was just a bunch of arch culverts or different culverts that we sprayed with concrete to help get more life out of. And that is it. So hopefully it wasn't too long, and I'm always happy to do it every year if it's something that you folks want to get updates on. So if you have any questions, I can try to answer. If not.
Any questions with Dax? I mean, it's pretty awesome to see all the money coming into Erie County. So
Yeah, there's
greatly appreciated.
Yeah. A lot of work happened. Like I said, I'll leave my flash drive, but if you want to copy that over and share it with anybody, they're more than welcome to look at the numbers and, because I know we can blow through it pretty quick, but I do like to give people an opportunity to see the pictures too. So.
Awesome. All right. Appreciate it. Thank you. Ally, we'll see if we can petition county to get you a budget for a wireless mouse.
Yeah, I think we can do that. We want to ask if Tom wants to go over anything in the newsletter.
Oh, okay. All right. You're still on the line. Just anything, sheets about, that are in our agenda, just, local projects. Did you want to touch on any of those at all? In the newsletter?
Nothing of particular. I know that first one there, that one in Corey, that we did receive good bids for it here last week. So I know that will be starting up in the spring. But like I said, all of our updates are in there. Nothing, again, I need to call attention to today. So, but definitely if you have questions, please reach out to one member, some of our team here.
Great. Thanks, Tom.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right, is Brandon still on the line if he wants to give us any central office updates?
Hi, Tim. Yep, I'm still here. You can hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, and I was actually gonna, if I could, I can share my screen here to give a little bit of a visual assistance to what I was gonna share.
You should be able
Okay.
to now.
Let me know if you can see that.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. So yeah, the only thing I was really going to touch on specifically was the PennDOT Highway Statistics Pub 600 is now updated for 2024. This is available on the PennDOT website, and it's updated to summarize a variety of highway mileage and travel information in Pennsylvania. Most of this information is derived from the Highway Performance Monitoring System, or HPMS, and reflects 2024 travel activity and highway conditions. I was gonna say, I'll share this as a follow-up too, for Ally to send out with the link. Like I said, you can find it just by searching Pub 600 on the PennDOT website. But I'm just gonna go through, show you a couple of things they highlight here. They highlight mileage and highway statistics at both the statewide and county levels in most cases. And again, it's more of like a hip pocket high overview of what the conditions are in Pennsylvania. So with that being said, I'll take any questions if you have. And again, I'll share this with Ally to have shared with the MPO for the meeting.
Any other questions of Brandon? All right, if none, other business. Nothing else. I am pleased to welcome County Executive-elect Christina Vogel to the MPO. I know this isn't your first MPO meeting, but your first as an incoming member. We look forward to working with the county. Your staff will be they're great to work with. Just continuing to look forward to working more with them and PennDOT. Is there any?
No, actually, I think you guys probably know, but Chris is gonna be, under administration, and I know you all know him, so it'll be easy transition.
Yes. Absolutely. Looking forward to it, Chris. Absolutely. If nothing else, you're good? All right. Happy holidays. Is there any hearing of the public again? All right, if none, I want to wish everybody Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Thanks for coming out in this weather today, and we will see you in February, correct? Yeah. All right, do I have a motion to adjourn? Bill. Yeah. Ron.
Oh, you.
Sorry to steal your mouse like that, but I knew I could.